Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's Allan Laboucan with the Rocks and Stocks News Show. I have another of our interviews with executives of junior mining companies. Not long ago, I added Delta Resources to my group of picks. And what stood out to me was some pretty spectacular high-grade gold on their project in Ontario. And it's great to have Andre Tessier on the show today. Thank you for joining us, Andre.
Well, thanks for having me, Alan.
So um, let's start with there. You've had a series of news releases that really stand out to me. One of them was in May when you announced that Delta intercepts 1,636 grams of gold and 697 grams of gold over 1 meter intervals, and reports visible gold in two step-out holes in initial phase 2 drilling at Delta 1 in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Then that was followed up by you announced a $10 million bought deal financing, and then you started a 20,000 meter drill program. So let's unpack some of that and sort of look at it from the big picture, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of kilograms per ton kind of gold, Andre.
Well, yeah, no, this intersection was pretty spectacular. I must say, it's not every day you see core like that coming out of the ground. So yeah, we're very pleased with that. But really, it's like you say, it's the whole package that really is getting us excited. These very wide intercepts of well over a gram per ton. So the intersection you're referring to is the furthest to the east that we've got results so far. So that was exciting. If this continues, hey, we'll be thrilled. But honestly, I'll take 100 meters of 1 gram or 1.2 gram anytime. It's a little easier to follow usually.
Gotcha. And so the $10 million bought deal, it's been a bit of a challenge for companies to raise money, but I think I'm not the only one that gets excited about extreme high grade gold. You got $10 million in the till.
Yeah, we do. And honestly, the like again, that this 1.6 kilogram is pretty special. But we had announced that financing prior to that, so that was just gravy, if you'd like. We had announced almost 700 meters of strike length of over a gram per ton over widths of anywhere between 50 and 120 meters. So I think that's what really got the funds excited and willing and keen on financing Delta Resources.
And then you started a 20,000 meter program. Unfortunately, there was some delays, I believe, because of forest fires in the area.
Actually, we were lucky. The Thunder Bay area was somewhat spared by
Oh,
from the forest
the fires
fires.
were near your other project in Chibougamau.
That's correct. Yeah, and as a result, some of the drills, Chibougamau Diamond Drilling is doing our drilling, and the highways were closed. So for a while, they weren't able to send any equipment via the roads. So that may have caused a slight delay, but honestly, it's been running very smoothly. We've got two drills on the property right now. We had initially, when we announced this 20,000 meters, we had already started a 5,000 meter program that has now come to completion. We're waiting for all these assays. We're drilling right now. I believe it's hole number 67. So the last drill hole that we drilled, sorry, the first drill hole that we drilled from that last program was drill hole 39. So we've got a lot of assays pending. We're somewhat flooding the lab with samples, and I'm sure they're enjoying it. But we're hoping to get many of those results very, very shortly.
I spent a good portion of my career in Red Lake, Ontario, and had the fortune of working with Chibougamau Drilling. Those guys are very talented, and you guys are in very good hands with that team.
I agree. They're among the best in Eastern Canada for sure. They're very professional. They drill exceptionally fast, which really reduces our cost. So yeah, no, we're very happy with our contractors as a whole on the property.
Keeps your team cutting core and logging. You probably have a hard time keeping up with their drilling.
We're doing some very detailed drill core logging, including RQD, rock density, mag susceptibility. We do XRF measurements every couple of meters on the core. So all of that is it's slowing down the core logging a bit, but yeah, when you get that kind of production from our drillers, it keeps the geologists on their toes.
But in these kind of systems, that kind of work is really important because you're paying for that drill core and you learn from that drill core, and doing that kind of thorough work really helps pay off down the road.
You have to extract as much information as possible from your core. It's the most expensive, in exploration. It's the most expensive part of your journey, and I think if you don't extract the maximum amount, then you're really missing out. So I believe we're extracting the maximum amount of information from our drill core, and that's how it should be. If you want to understand these deposits, they're complex deposits. The geology is complex, and we need to do the best we can to understand.
Well, sometimes that complexity can be a good thing, Andre.
It's very rare that you get mineral deposits in simple areas.
There you go. Well, speaking of the area you're in, you're only about 50 kilometers from Thunder Bay, Ontario, along the Trans-Canada Highway, and you're literally sitting right beside the highway.
It's the ideal location for a gold deposit, or any deposit for that matter. Like you say, we're right next to the Trans-Canada Highway. The great majority of the property has been logged. So there's no trees on the site. We are on a topographic high because the alteration has basically made the rock more resistant. So we're on a topo high. So should there be any mining there, the strip ratio would be minimal. So it's an ideal location for a nice big open pit. The only setback is we're going to have to move the highway, but that's been done before, and that's not a big issue.
And you're in a greenstone belt with faulting, and when you see those kind of grades, it's kind of sounding a little like an orogenic gold system to me.
I think we are dealing with orogenic gold. To me, right now, it looks like the type of deposit. If we were to peg a name on it, we'd say cyanide or intrusion related deposit. But certainly it's a stockwork, and it's right close to the unconformity between the Shabandawan formation to the north, which is more like Temiskaming type sediments, and the Archean belt to the south. So the Greenstone
At the
belt
contact.
pretty much had the unconformity. Yeah, very
Okay.
close.
Okay. Well, I want to get into this news release, Andre, because now that we sort of dealt with that big picture stuff, and a few things really stood out to me. that right away I saw that you had three separate intervals. Of one was 1,636 grams of gold, another was 697, and then you had a third interval of 9.78 grams per ton of gold. And what also stood out to me is that this was your most eastern drill hole, and it is at a mag low that seems to be getting much wider as you go to the east and to the south.
Yeah, the last intersection was right next to what our investors are affectionately calling the deep blue anomaly, which is a mag low. Our mineralization is associated with a magnetic low, and that makes sense because the alteration is largely anchoritization. And that anchorite basically used the iron from magnetite to well, to alter the rocks, and as a result, the mineralizing processes have demagnetized the rocks. So we're following that mag low, and so far we've been successful at expanding the deposit. So right now the deposit's about 1.5 kilometers of strike length, and the intersections you're referring to are the easternmost intersections so far. We've drilled to the east, we've seen the zone, we've seen the alteration, but we don't have assays yet.
So for the non-geos out there that are watching the show, when gold-bearing fluids make their way up to the surface, they chemically alter the country rock, and these alteration zones are very important to be looking for. And how Andre was mentioning, that alteration makes the rock mag low, and there, it's been a very big help in following your mineralization, Andre.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So when I was looking at the mag map, I noticed that it looks like there might be a fault offsetting. You've been able to follow that mag low from west to east in your alpha zone and your beta zone, and then this deep blue. I love that name because I remember it from when Deep Blue, the artificial intelligence computer, was playing chess against Kasparov. So I kind of like that. But as you go to the east, it looks like it's offset, and it gets much wider to the east.
Yeah, yes, that is correct. It gets stronger and appears to get wider. The and which really means that that when we start drilling in that area, we will have to go, yeah, call it go fishing with the drill rig. So the idea, obviously, well, we'd like for the whole anomaly to be where the gold is, but the reality is that it's probably hiding in there somewhere. So that's where our drilling is going to have to be really targeted. Um, but you can't neglect either some of the anomalies or some of the intersections we have, west of hole 38 there. That 1.6 kilogram was a real pleasant surprise. But it comes on the shoulders of intersections like like our hole 18, which we consider to be our discovery hole, where we had 31 meters of nearly 6 grams. And then we followed that up with 6.5 grams over 10 meters, 2.6 grams over 66 meters. And I believe we've got over 100 meters of mineralization in drill hole 31 and 32. So these are big intercepts, and it's a strong system, and it's something that's for me, it's a highlight of a geological career.
Yeah, I was looking at the table of results that you put in that news release, and some very good 31, as you said, 31 meters is just about 6 grams. There was a sub interval of the in there of 11 meters of 14.8, 2.2 meters is 72 grams. Hole 24 had a 10-meter intersection of 6.49 with a subinterval of 30 grams. Hole 25 had a 1 meter of 130 grams, 20 meters of a gram, 0.2. Deeper in the hole, 16 grams. Yeah, this isn't an isolated system. There's a large area with which looks like could be open pit mined with a very handsome grade, but then you've got those kickers of the high grade that comes in there as well, which is hell of a combination, Andre.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're still considering this deposit as a bulk mining opportunity, but there's going to be some real high grade sweeteners in there when it's going to get mined, and we think eventually it will get mined.
So you got 20,000 meters of drilling underway. What's the plan? Are you focusing in on the western side, or a combination of the western side and that eastern deep blue target?
We're actually doing all of the above. We're drilling to expand the deposit east, west, and at depth. But we're also doing some property scale exploration. So what we would call wildcat drilling. You've probably seen in our latest press release, we've almost doubled the size of the property by acquiring properties that are adjacent and contiguous to our Delta One project. And by doing that, we the reason why we're doing that obviously is because we have some ideas on different structures and different mineralization types that we're seeing there, and we believe that these additional properties will probably bear fruit in the future.
So on the projects you had prior to the addition, you're probably not just completely wildcatting. You got geophysical data there to help you out, as well as structural interpretation.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I say wildcat, it means it's never been tested before. So no, we have strong indications that there's mineralization there. The signatures that we're seeing there, geophysically, geologically, geochemically, are similar to what we've encountered at the Delta One deposit there. So that's what we're testing. We're testing different targets with similar signatures, but they've never been tested before. They're not a continuation of the deposit, so we're considering that to be wildcat drilling.
Wildcat with a bit of help.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
the new
exploration's always an educated guess, right?
and a little bit of luck, and so far you've got that good combination. So this additional ground you acquired falls into the same kind of category, some geophysics, geochem, and structural interpretation.
Yes, all of the above. We're currently doing. We've got a crew in the field that's looking at surface geology. We're prospecting the area. We have, like I said, we have certain areas that we're very keen on. So we've sent our field crews in there to verify surface expression of those rocks if they're outcropping, and shortly we'll be following that with a drill.
And so you announced a 20,000 meter program. You got a great drilling company there. I'm sure they're eating up the meters as we speak. How is the production or activity going with that drilling, Andre?
Well, we're getting shifts of up to 80 meters per 12 hours. So that's exceptional. And yeah, the drilling's advancing very fast. We have, like I said, we completed our 5,000 meters that we had initially announced, and now we're within that 20,000 meters. We're whether we're going to drill straight right up to the Christmas holidays, we'll have to see. We might actually just take a pause at some point to catch up and to gather our thoughts and interpret the large amount of data that we're getting. But we'll resume very shortly after that.
So you're pretty much from here till the end of the year, kind of ongoing drilling with maybe some chances to absorb all the information.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to be generating a lot of news as we go forward, Andre.
I think there's going to be tons of news coming in late summer and fall, right up to the end of the year.
Excellent. Did I forget to ask you anything, Andre?
DLTA on the TSX Venture.
Yeah, there you go. That's always important. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Andre. This is a exciting project, no matter how you look at it, whether it's an open pit with high grade in the open pit, or the potential for chasing that extreme high grade. Really has caught my attention, and sounds like a few other people's as well.
Yeah, no, I think people are very excited about the project, including the whole team at Delta.
Well, it sounds like you got a heck of a good team on board there, Andre.
We do, yeah. We just hired actually a new geologist out of Thunder Bay. She's excellent. Our exploration manager is also excellent, extremely organized, and that's what you need when you get into these big projects.
Yeah, yeah, you got to watch all that core and make sure the production of new core comes along nicely. So,
That has not been an issue.
good. Well, Andre, I'm going to close it off, and then we can have a little chat at the other end. How does that sound?
That sounds really good. Thanks very much, Alan. Appreciate it.
Al, I appreciate having you on, as my audience will as well. Folks, Delta Resources, I made them a new pick not long ago, about a month ago, and very impressed with the results, the combination of targets that they have. Of course, I'm a junkie for high grade gold, and always love seeing that, but it's not an isolated incident with this system that they're dealing with. And when you see that kind of combination, it's suggestive of, as Andre mentioned, a strong and powerful mineralizing system. And they're just sinking their teeth into this. And I think for investors that like gold exploration, especially one that's near infrastructure, near the town of 50 kilometers from the town of, did I get it right there?
Bay,
Timmins? Which
Thunder Bay.
Thunder Bay, and oh, just off the highway. Makes for great access, and a very exciting project. So, as always, my shows are for information purposes only. It's important for you to do your homework, speak with your financial advisor, and go to their website and check out these news releases that really help paint the picture of how exceptional the project is that they have. On that note, have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.